Hello YouTube. Just wanted to do a quick little video here, maybe a little longer than expected. There's no real plan or I guess process behind the filming of this video. It's just kind of an impromptu rant. Mini rant, but a rant nonetheless. Mainly about high-end knives and at what price point do you expect there to be no flaws in the knife? So I have a couple other knives on the table right here. One of them small, one of them big, Benchmade 875 Sentinel. Hard to find knife now. This one's in pretty good condition. I do plan on using it. I got it not long ago. Got it at my cigar shop. Carried it a couple times. It's a nice knife. I might put it in the rotation if there's enough interest in it. The lockup is kind of late and there's some lock stick and there's jimping all over it, but nonetheless it's a quality knife. The screws are all quality. You'll understand that here in a second. It's just a quality built knife. My camera can focus. I like it. I like it a lot. Another form of a quality knife, this little Microtech UTX 70, and a little bit of camo. See the blade, UTX 70 SE. A little dirty. I carry this every now and then. Here in Louisiana, technically I am not supposed to carry this knife, so everybody just be a little bit quiet on that. So there's no proof I've ever carried it, so you can't say a thing. I can own it. Anyways, this little knife shows a slight flaw. From very light pocket wear, paint started chipping. This is a $200 knife, guys. A small little blade, small little knife, granted very high quality knife. I just wish that the paint would be a little bit higher quality. However, this isn't the knife I'm upset about. I actually quite enjoy this little knife. Very stiff actuator on that. Feel very comfortable with this knife though. Never had really any issues with it. It's a fun little letter opener or box opener. The problem I have is with this William Henry. Now, about a month ago I got laid off. Came with 2 weeks of pay and the big check that I had that week. So I treated myself. I got myself a nice Victorinox watch. And the jewelry store I got this from, it was a bad decision, but I made it, happened to sell William Henry knives. Well, if you're a knife guy, and you live in a place like mine, where your only knife shops are Bass Pro Shops and Academy, you go all nuts about this. You're excited. I love William Henry knives. They're beautiful. I always wanted to hold one. I never got the chance. Until then, I got a nice little carbon fiber William Henry E6-3. Lockup's nice, solid, no play right now. But when I got it, and I'd started messing around with it a little bit, you know, it was a little bit off-centered. I wanted to see if I could fix that. So I grabbed somewhat of a cheap but still very, very nice high quality torque set, and I adjusted the pivot screw. And keep in mind, this torque screw was the perfect, very perfect fit. Adjusted the pivot screw, and this was a Torx bit at one point. And when I got it centered, I checked it and it was way too stiff. It's still that way right now. Takes quite a bit, and I can hold the blade and even flick the knife. It's extremely stiff, to the point where I wouldn't carry it at all, because it is a pain to open. It has transformed this knife into pretty much a two-hand knife. Now, it's a gorgeous knife, it's a light knife, it's a beautiful knife, and I love it. So, what would any respecting knife person do? loosen the pivot screw back. Screw the centering, it was only a very little bit off. I'll loosen the pivot screw. Pivot screw. So what I do, I got that Torx bit, took it to this screw, and I tried to loosen it up a little bit. And again, I will repeat, this bit was the perfect size for this knife. And what happens? The screw strips in a matter of seconds. Little metal shavings all over the Torx bit. Just all over it. The screw stripped completely. To where when I insert that bit, it just spins. Now, the screw's double-sided. Try to do the same thing with this screw. And it looks pretty good, but you can see it started to strip a little bit in there. So I decided to not even mess with the knife anymore. Because a cheap bit set stripped these screws out. Guys, this is a $275 knife that is touted as a fine gentleman's cutting tool. Now, I don't expect this knife to chop a tree down. I don't expect it to go through the heaviest of cutting tasks. Merely open a box, open a letter, light chore tasks. It's a light duty knife. It's a beautiful piece of art. For $275, I was very pleased with that price, so I bought it. However, I'm very disappointed that William Henry, somebody who so proudly boasts about the beauty and the elegance and the uniqueness of their knives, which granted they are beautiful, and I do love them, I still like them to a degree, that they would put out a product with such little quality screws. It just bothers me, because I've taken apart several knives before. I've owned 2 Sabintas and taken them both apart. I've taken this knife apart. No problems. No problems at all. Still works fine. Still works absolutely fine. I've taken my current EDC apart. The Ontario Rat 2 review to come. Works perfectly fine. $30 knife. Those screws held up. $150 knife is what I paid for it. Those screws held up. Didn't take this apart. Unless you have one of those fancy tri-wing bits and a wealth of knowledge about OTFs, I wouldn't recommend taking this apart. But the point is, here are 2 knives with 2 different price ranges, both cheaper than this. And I can take them apart and put them back together all day long with no problem. But the second I want to loosen the pivot screw on this knife that I paid $275 for, it strips. It didn't even budge. It just completely gave way and stripped. There was no play in the bit. Nothing was wrong. It just stripped. It was a cheap screw. It's a beautiful screw. And I know that sounds stupid, but I like how it's shaped, you know? I like that little bit of difference. But that little bit of, I guess you could say, decoration or patterning doesn't really amount to anything if I can't use it. I'd rather have that sticks out. I'd rather have that countersunk in. I think my point is 150, around 30. They both did better than this. So, what am I going to be doing? Well, I paid $275 for it. So this is going to be a part 1 video to a small series of me testing out William Henry's customer service. It says right here, and I will read it to you, William Henry offers a lifetime warranty on all of our work. We guarantee our workmanship and the performance of our products provided they are used in an appropriate manner. Our products are designed and built as fine cutting instruments, nothing more. Our pens, money clips, and other creations are designed and built for their intended use, and any other use will void the warranty. Quite simply, using a William Henry for something other than it was designed or disassembling any part of any William Henry will void the warranty. We strive to create the finest pieces we can imagine for a lifetime of use and beyond, and we will work to ensure your satisfaction with our products. William Henry reserves the right to evaluate, repair, and or replace any warranty issues that may arise. Ship all repair work along with your contact info and a note explaining the problem to etc. That's the address. So, it does clearly state disassembling any part of a William Henry. However, I have clear proof that I didn't disassemble it. Because how can I disassemble it if the screw wouldn't even back out in the first place? So it's simply impossible for me to disassemble it. I haven't taken anything apart on this knife. I simply tightened that pivot screw and it ended up being too tight because the blade centering was off in the first place. So, I've tried to fix a small issue with the knife by twisting a screw. And then, what did I do? The blade was too stiff. So, I simply tried with the correct bit to loosen it. But this cheap screw just completely gave out on me. So, I will be sending this to William Henry tomorrow. Today is November 2nd. Almost November 3rd. About 11:30 right now. So tomorrow morning, or afternoon, sometime during tomorrow, I will send this to William Henry. And I will update my Instagram as well, at Bladefinger. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if William Henry decides to follow through with their limited warranty on their oh-so-expensive small EDC knife, which I did not take apart, or whether they decide to just say, nope, you tampered with it. It's not our problem. So that'll be interesting. You know, it's a gorgeous knife. I really do like it. It's very light. It's very utilitarian. But when I have to work so hard to open it, I don't really care about it. So we'll see. We will see. More to come on this knife, as I do like it. At least when it's working, right? Very disappointing. So, and of course, I'm sure there will be some videos on the little UTX-70. Definitely a review coming in about a week and a half on the Rant 2. Definitely liking carrying this knife. It's a very solid little knife. You can see some wear on that blade. Definitely getting its use. And we may do an overview of the Sentinel. Heck, I might do a review. I just don't really want to mess it up too terribly bad. I'm definitely going to use it, but there's a fine line between hard use and light use, and this is, in fact, a collectible, technically. So, I have the original box and paperwork and everything with it, so we'll see. Other knives to look for in the coming future. This little sucker. Take your guess at what this is down in the comments. See if you can guess what this is. I have a early 2000s case Barlow if anybody's interested in seeing a video on that. Might carry it for a little while and do a review on it. Nice little slip joint, but as far as now, this video is over. I am currently uploading the review on the recycled firefighter Sergeant wallets. So go tune into that, because by the time this video is up, this one will be as well. This one will be up before. So definitely stay tuned to that. Or stay in tune, keep in tune, whatever the hell it is. Watch it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's about it. So I will keep you guys updated as the journey continues with my little William Henry E6-3 carbon fiber. It's a beautiful blade. It's just very sad, very disappointing for the price point that it can fail. And it's such a pivotal pun intended way. Definitely like the knife, but not if it's not going to work. So we'll put you back in here. Tomorrow I will box you up and ship you off. I will keep carrying you, and you two will go back in the knife box. So you guys have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever it may be. Stay safe, stay smart, stay sharp.